Which way is better? Aggressive payoff of debt versus balancing debt payoff with the rest of your life? That's what we're talking about today. Hey guys, my name is Jackie from the Financial Literacy Tribe, coming at you with daily videos about personal finance, budgeting, investing, debt payoff. We talk about it all. It's crazy. Today I'm coming at you with a topic that I actually was inspired by some of the YouTube videos that I'm currently subscribed to. And honey, I bet you thought the personal finance world was drama-free. No, boo-boo, it is not drama-free. But instead of arguing about which cast of The Housewives is the best cast, I never even watched that show, if I'm being honest with you. We are instead arguing about which is the better methodology in terms of paying off your debt. There are two very different camps of thought on this, and I just thought it was an interesting topic. If you're not currently subscribed to my channel, you're going to want to hit that subscribe button, and if you enjoy this video, which hopefully you will also hit the like button. Let's jump right in. So as mentioned in the intro, there's currently two groups on YouTube that are currently experiencing a little bit of contention between which is the better methodology, the better way of paying off debt. Now let's just add context, add a little bit of color to this. We're not talking about, oh, I have like $200 on my credit card from Christmas and I have to pay that off. That's not what we're talking about. We are talking about people that have a lot of debt. I have talked about this before. I currently have about $55,000 in debt, all student loans. I started at the beginning of my personal finance journey with $90,000 in debt, and that was credit card debt, car loans, consumer debt, and student loans, and now I'm down to 55. So this is something that really is near and dear to my heart, and I know there's a lot of people out there who also are trying to pay off debt, and so it's probably important to you as well. So that's why we're talking about it. But certainly the two main camps, okay, Camp A, the more popular camp, in my opinion, because they are very, very, very strongly tied to our boy, Dave Ramsey. You've heard me talk about him on my channel all the time because he's great. He's a really great guy. He's a personal finance personality, and he has some very strong views. Let's just be honest, some very strong opinions about how you should go about paying off your debt if you have a substantial amount of debt to pay off. And he is a believer. I've talked about it before, but I'll remind you guys again. He's a believer that you should get a second job.
Get a third job. Get a fourth job. Sell your furniture. Why aren't you sleeping on milk crates?
You should be eating nothing but government cheese and rice. I don't think he said government cheese, but he says rice and beans a lot. He talks about rice and beans a lot. And as a Hispanic, I'm always like, but I eat rice and beans all the time anyway. That's just part of my culture. But I don't think that's what he means. What he means is that you need to be living a scorched earth lifestyle. That means that you need to act like you're broke, even if you're not broke, so that you can allot the majority, the bulk of whatever it is that you are making financially toward paying off your debt. You cannot be happy. You cannot be living your best life. You cannot be going on vacation. You cannot be enjoying yourself. You need to just rip that debt band-aid off, pay it off as quick as possible, as aggressively as possible. That is the Dave Ramsey theology in terms of how it is that you should be paying off large quantities of debt. He's very verbal about it. He's very consistent. He's been saying the same exact message for the years and years and years that he's been popular. And so that is the belief that this one particular camp also believes, is that you shouldn't have debt. Having large quantities of debt is not a good thing. You should be actively working to try and pay it off as fast as possible, as aggressively as you possibly can as an individual. That is Camp A. We'll call them Camp A. All right, so that was Camp A. Camp B, which I'm not calling them B because they're anyway less than Camp A. They're just a different school of thought. Is more in line with, if I had to tie them to a personal finance personality, they probably don't associate with this person because she's actually a Canadian personal finance personality, but I love her, and I definitely talk about her on my channel as well. Gail Vos, author, had a personal finance show, really great lady. She's of the belief more so that debt is kind of, not that it's a good thing, but that it's a part of life, right? Like, most people have debt. That is not incorrect thinking. That's true. Most people have debt. And so it makes more sense for you to kind of incorporate debt payoff with the rest of your life. So one of the budgeting styles that she really pushes, and it's in the majority of her books, is called the Life Pie. And we did talk about it on my channel. If you want, I will link the video in the description box for you so you can check that out as well. But it's basically debt payoff. You treat it like a bill. It's in there with your mortgage or with your rent. It's in there with food. It's food, housing, transportation, and debt. It has its own place in your life budget. It has its own place in your life pie graph.
I don't know why this cat is not behaving with my filming schedule. He's just being so loud and aggressive and attacking his little mouse toy, and it's irritating me.
So basically she believes, and this other group of people, Group B, believe that you should be incorporating debt payoff. I just stole the mouse toy so that he can't make noise anymore. I'm evil. I didn't do anything. So this other group of individuals just believe that debt payoff should be incorporated with the rest of your life. It is something that the majority of people go through. It's a part of life. It just needs to be incorporated with life, which means ultimately that you can live your life. You can still go on vacation. You can still go out to eat. You can still do whatever, as long as what you're spending is in line with your budget. You should be able to pay off your debt. It'll obviously take a hell of a lot longer than if you were doing it more aggressively, but it's just a part of life, and you can live your life and continue to live your life while simultaneously paying off your debts in a very less aggressive manner. That is the belief system of Group B. So I don't know, guys. I would love to hear your opinion. I would love to hear what it is that you think in terms of what's the best way of going about things. Definitely leave me a comment in the comment section, because I would love to take like a whole poll and figuring out what it is that people believe in terms of what's the best way to go about paying off debt. Do you pay it off aggressively, even if it means your life is going to suck for a year or 2 years or however long? Or do you just kind of consider debt repayment as a part of your life, and you're just allotting a certain percentage of your budget on a monthly basis toward paying off debt while still living your best life as much as possible? Leave me a comment below, because I want to hear about it. My personal opinion, I think it depends. I think it depends on your particular situation. I think it depends on how much it is that you make. I think it depends on how frivolous your current life is. I know for me, as mentioned, guys, I started out with $90K in debt. I was not making $90K a year. I'm a registered nurse, and I do okay financially, but I wasn't at that level. I'm still not at that level. But definitely, so for me, I had to get really aggressive because the amount of debt that I had accumulated was stifling. It was suffocating me. I felt like I didn't have any money left over after my bills were paid, and I didn't. You know why? Because I had redonkulously high credit card payments that I had to pay because my credit card balance was out of control. I had to pay the massage membership. I had to pay to get my nails done. I was paying out the wazoo because I was spending like if money grew on trees. So for me, I spent 2 years of my journey where I worked a second job. I worked weekends. So your girl was working 6 to 7 days a week, every single week. And literally, I just used that extra money from my second job to try to get myself right. And now that the majority of my like high interest consumer debt has been paid off. All I have left is just student loans, which have a very low and manageable interest rate. Now I've kind of settled and fallen more so into the Gail Vos Group B style of living. I was at Group A because, honey, I needed to just get rid of those credit cards. The interest rate was suffocating me. It was too much for me. So I was as aggressive as possible. I didn't do anything. I worked 6 to 7 days a week. I didn't do anything with my life. I didn't do anything fun. And did it suck? Yes, it sucked. It was not fun at all. But it was necessary for me. It was necessary for my journey. And now that the majority of my consumer debt is gone, I'm a little bit more chill with it. The bulk of my debt is just student loans. And I'm chipping away. And I'm trying to be strategic. But I'm also not going to allow it to just kind of like rule the rest of my life. I'm looking forward to enjoying my life now. Either way, I thought it was a fabulously interesting topic and I wanted to bring it to you guys. As mentioned, comment below on what's your preferred method in terms of paying off debt. I would love to hear about it. Definitely, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Hit that like button. Also, if you're not currently subscribed, I bring you personal finance videos on a weekly basis for the month of January on a daily basis. So you are going to want to subscribe so you can be notified when I have a new video up. And if you would like additional content, be sure to check out my blog, which is available at focusedfrugalfab.com. And I will see you guys soon. Nice chatting with ya. Bye.